everyone. Welcome to Tiny Little Homestead. My name's Kitty, and today I'm pulling weeds. He's still here. I'm pulling weeds, or what I like to call excuses to play in the garden. So usually what I do is I go around, even though I have all this nice pea gravel in the garden, I did lay down like some weed cloth before I laid down the pea gravel, but sometimes the roots and weeds somehow can fiddle their way through the fabric, and that's okay because that just gives me an excuse to be out here longer. So last night we had blackberry, the beginning of blackberry winter. We'll have it again tonight. So I did put hoops, low tunnels, and in a previous video I showed you how to make those low tunnels. So just check in the library and you'll find that video there. But it's still early morning, and the sun is shining on the garden right now. So I pulled the plastic off of the plants because it's getting pretty hot inside the low tunnels, and you don't want to burn your... I'm just going to talk in between the doodles, sorry. Anyway, you don't want to burn the plants with the plastic being kept on there. So I came out this morning and took the plastic off and noticed that there were an abundance of weeds growing. So I'm just using the little extra time I have this morning to go ahead and pull up as much as I can. I'm not going to get it all, but I'm going to pull up as much as I can. I have an extra little planter here. I'm just going to throw them in here, and then when I get done pulling them, I can either put them on my compost or give them to the chickens, which most likely I'll give them to the chickens. I usually do. And then they build up what they don't eat. They'll just scratch it around, they'll poop on it, and then it'll become compost for the garden. So it's a life cycle. I just put all that compost that they're making onto my compost pile. It's still early, y'all. Onto my compost pile, and then as it ages I can turn it and then eventually use that as soil on my garden bed. So for now I am just going to pull some weeds out of the garden and bring you along. Hey, I do hope that you were able to see the video last night. I did try to post it live. For some reason it didn't get put on as a public where everyone can see it, so I apologize for that. And I don't know what's better. Okay. Anyway, I don't know why it didn't post, but it's not too late. It didn't get too awful cold last night. Hopefully if you did put any plants out in your garden or in pots and left it out, you were able to get it covered up. But do it again tonight. I think we have it up until Monday. Today's Monday. Up until tomorrow. But I'm going to double check that because it changes by the minute. Also today, Bill's going to be coming over. My friend Bill, he helps me build, and the Homestead community now knows him as Bill the Builder. He's going to come help me work on the shed. We're still working on that, putting the screen up today, and so we'll share that along the way also. But I'm going to get back to pulling weeds. Don't forget to cover your plants tonight, and make sure you take the plastic off or whatever it is off of your plants as soon as the sun starts hitting them, or just shortly thereafter, so that your plants don't get burned. Back to weeding. side note, because I did lay down fabric and there's gravel sitting on top of these weeds, they're super easy to pull out. They can't really, I guess the roots can't really go too deep on these little tiny weeds, so super easy to pull out. Doesn't take much energy at all. You can really get a lot done in a short time, so that's helpful. I would also recommend like wood chips for garden paths, especially fresh wood chips, because they still have a lot of resins or whatever, the saps and stuff in the trees and the wood chips, whatever plants have been chipped up, they still have all that, and so it kind of kills any grass or anything like that underneath. So that's always a good thing to put down too. Wood chips, some people put down I don't know, they just use just the cloth, the weed barrier, so that's a method too. So I hope I'm inspiring you, I hope I'm encouraging you, I hope you're enjoying the sunshine and get out in your garden and weed. If you have potted plants, you may have noticed that there's some little sprouts coming up in the dirt there too. Mr. Butter is winning a lot of attention today. Anyway, so yeah, gonna get back to weeding and bring you on. While I'm weeding, I'm noticing that there's some volunteers. This is a bean, a green bean. Here's another one. So I'm not sure. I usually try not to pull out my volunteers. I might let it go a little bit, maybe transplant it. So yeah, they're hiding in here with the onions. I did have green beans in this bed at one time, so probably that's what's going on. Some might have fallen. They usually climb up this. They're pole beans, so they climb up the trellis. And they might have blown off of the trellis and landed over here, the little beans. So we'll let them go for a little bit and then I'll transplant them. I'm also noticing that I've got quite a bit of, this is lemon balm. And it seeds and it falls into the gravel. They're super easy to pull up. Usually I transplant these and put these in little seed pots or starter pots and give them to friends or sell them. So I may be doing that. Really good. Lemon balm, again, is used with other ingredients for depression in a tea. You can make a tincture, salve, all that stuff. Works really good to help with relaxation. And let's see, relaxation, and it's also like helps you if you want to put it like in a tea or something like that. Kind of gives you that lemony flavor, so it helps with dehydration also. So quenches your thirst, basically. Yeah, lemon balm. It's got a square stem. It's from the mint family, so it looks like mint. In fact, it's right next to peppermint. This is peppermint, and you'll notice the difference. Peppermint also has a square stem. It's got a purple stem and it's purple underneath, and where the lemon balm is not. So there's your little comparison. And if you are in Middle Tennessee and you'd like to come to our Homesteaders meeting, it is May 16th. It is being held in Centerville, Tennessee at the local place. I'll be talking on medicinal teas, and we'll be talking more about all these herbs, all these wonderful medicines. So, okay, I'm getting distracted, so I'm gonna go back to pulling weeds. See how easy they are to pull up. It doesn't take any effort at all. And I get all the roots. I'm not sure what this is, but there's a lot of it. So this tree got cut down a long time ago, I think when I first moved here, and it's starting to rot away. But the awesome thing about that is tree stumps also are great for holding pots. I had strawberries in there last year, and they did not make it through the winter. I don't see any sign of strawberries. So the metal probably got colder than the actual air did and froze the roots. So, but look at all of these weeds. I get to, my excuses to play in the garden. So the raspberries are also falling over, and they kind of send off runners like strawberries. So they are also coming up in the pea gravel here, and so I will pull up those and put them in little pots too and see if anybody needs any. I can either give them away or sell them also, so that's making money on the homestead. But look at these treasures. Great thing about having a rotting stump in your garden is it usually creates medicine, more medicine. These are turkey tail mushrooms, and they're still pretty good. I should probably take them off and harvest them. Not all of them, but see, and then there's a root coming off over there, and so they're growing on that. They're just all over this stump. I don't know if you can see them all, but wonderful, wonderful medicine. I'll get in the details of that in the class, but turkey tail is like one of the best mushrooms you can have in your garden. So yeah, great find there. Always good to have a rotting stump in your garden. I don't know how long it'll last, maybe another year. I see that it's kind of getting deteriorating from the inside. Okay, so yeah, see, when you start weeding your garden, you're going to find all kinds of other treasures. So this one here, this is a wild mustard. And my daughter calls them swamp flowers because they're growing in abundance in the wetter part of our garden, of our yard. And every year they usually do. There's a big pile of them, or bunch of them over there. So that is mustard. And the white flowers are burr butter. Now the yellow mustard, you can use all of her, it's white mustard actually, but with yellow flowers. You can use all of the plant. It's all edible. The leaf kind of tastes mustardy. The seeds are supposed to help with deterring cancer. So if you let it go to seed, which, you know, it's going to, it's pretty invasive here. And the roots are pretty deep. So these ones I'll have to dig out because they go pretty deep and they're pretty thick. The stalk is pretty thick. See, there's the main stalk. So that's pretty thick. So yeah, but tons of excuses to get in the garden. Tons of medicine in the garden. There's another mustard. Now, it's not like your mustard greens or anything like that. It's like the yellow mustard that you make. That's what that is. Hot dog mustard. I really need to find out what this is. If anybody knows, could you tell me? I appreciate it. So here's your burr butter. They're white flowers and then they turn purple on the edges. They're very pretty. I'm sure there's some medicinal properties to them also, but I'm not sure what they are just yet. But I will know soon. Look here. This is blueberries are coming on. Look at those pretty little babies. Can you see them? Hold on. There they are. Blueberries. Yay. I'm hoping I have enough to share with the birds this year, or they have enough to share with me. I didn't get many last year because the birds. So that's that. Mr. Butters, he gave me a little break the other day. He didn't try to come after me, but now he's back at it, so he's getting upset about something. Another thing I'm doing today is going to the studio. My dad, my sweet daddy, is making me a theme song for the channel, so I'm excited about that. He's a musician by trade, and I asked him if he would be so kind to write me a theme song. So he's been working in the studio on that, and today we get to go over and hear the music, and I'm gonna have him and a friend of mine, Crystal Mitchell, I'll introduce you, is going to sing the lyrics to my little theme song. So I'm excited about that. It's gonna be so cute. I really wanted something that my daddy was on, you know, involved in. He's so good at that kind of stuff, so I thought I would ask him if he would be so kind. So it's later in the day. I've finished my weeding. I went to visit my sweet daddy, and he finished the song for me for the channel, and so I'm excited to share that with you after we get the vocals. It was just a demo, so once we get everything recorded, we'll have a big demo release and party release. I don't know, we'll do something. Anyway, had lunch, and now Bill the Builder is here. And we're gonna start working on the shed. So we're gonna finish putting the screen up on the screened side of the shed, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's a beautiful day, the sun's shining, it's nice and breezy. There's Bill the Builder. All of our homesteaders know him as Bill the Builder now. All right, yep, we're gonna get that going, staple up some more screen, and I don't know what else. I guess he's gonna be pounding on something. I don't know. So I don't know what he's checking out. Let's go see what he's looking at, or why he's pounding. Oh, some of the staples did not get pushed all the way through flat on the screen flush, so I believe that's what he's pounding on. Yep, it's looking good. So now what we're doing is putting that screen on, and we have some rafters that are coming out, and so he is cutting around the rafters so that we can make sure the screen is nice and tight and mosquitoes won't get in there. This is how bad the mosquitoes are here. It's all wet over here, and on the outside of the screen, the mosquitoes were lined up on the screen, actually on the screen, so they're in attack mode. Anyway, Bill's finishing up making sure that the screen is nice and tight around the rafters. So that's what's going on. Hey everyone, so Bill and I worked really hard today, and excuse my hair, it's a mess. We've been outside in the weather all day, and temperatures are dropping, but we've gotten the majority of the screen on the shed here. Everything except for this one piece up here, and then we have to do the caps on the outside to cover the screen itself, the seams of the screen. So getting that finished, now all we have to do after that is paint, finish staining and then work on getting electricity to the shed itself, so that we can have heat and air to keep those books in a good condition. So cross your fingers and say a prayer for us, because we are going to be searching for ideas on how to do that. Temperatures are dropping, so the garden needs to be covered. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now, and I just want to get back and let you know that the progress is coming along. And thank you for joining us here at Tiny Little Homestead. If I haven't met you yet, my name's Kitty, and I live on a 1 acre, building a 1 acre homestead and live in a tiny house. And we just share in our journey along the way. I'm not a master at any of this. I'm learning just like you, so let's learn together. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys very soon. Dream big dreams for the tiny little things.